Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on onespotmedia.com.
Scary, chaotic, and the worst experience. Just some of the words people are using to describe the 5.6 magnitude earthquake that rocked Jamaica today.
According to the earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies, the quake happened at 10:57 a.m. and was felt mostly in eastern parishes. Now, the country's leading expert is warning of multiple aftershocks to come, even as Jamaicans reflect on the terrifying experience.
No, we'll have that later in the newscast, but first, our coverage begins with Giovanni Dennis.
Monday, October 30, 10:57 a.m. This is the moment a 5.6 magnitude earthquake struck Jamaica. This is hot off the press, a printer at the New Kingston Business Center.
Right after you put on back in glasses, yo, keep no hits.
You see the thing shaking?
Here's another angle of when the quake struck the Dominica Drive location. Lisa McHale is the manager.
It is the scariest experience I've ever had. I felt a couple of tremors. This was words don't really quantify what we felt a while ago.
We saw cracks inside both bathroom walls. Navigating the quake was difficult.
It just kept going. It didn't stop. So even when we were running out, we were shouting, out, out, everybody out. It was going. The whole building was, I don't know if it was a shape, more of a sway, but yeah, it was really, really scary.
There were also cracks elsewhere on the mall. Just outside the printery, we saw cracks in the glass window of this travel agency.
It was very scary, very, very scary to see the building shaking like that, the glass cracking, all the debris falling off the ceiling and stuff like that. It was awful.
Now, I'm standing just across the road from the New Kingston Business Center. Now, there's a BPO located inside that business center. We are not allowed to go up there. I've been trying to get inside. Security pretty much escorted me off the property. However, I have seen a video from a staff showing extensive damage to the inside of that BPO. Parts of the ceiling caving inside. We do understand that some staff were injured, that some have fainted as well and were taken to hospital. I have seen a staff member who showed me that video who was still shaking up, but out of condition of fear of repercussion, did not want to speak or share that video with me.
There's a call center on the building and a lot of them were hyperventilating. People couldn't breathe on the outside and just panic. So they were putting people in taxis, taking them to the hospital.
The call center persons were very frantic, very afraid. You have persons that have asthma attacks, panic attacks, persons were passing out, persons couldn't breathe. It was very nerve-wracking, I'm telling you the honest truth.
Elsewhere on Dominica Drive, scores of people standing outside buildings. Less than a mile from the New Kingston Shopping Centre on Oxford Road, scores of employees at the NCB Towers evacuated. We were told several persons fainted and were taken to hospital, while it was chaotic for staff on the higher floors making their way down. People we saw in Crossroads were thankful.
If we never have good building, I know we don't know Jamaica that make it out this morning here.
What was that like for you?
Why, I never felt a earthquake like this before.
Where were you when it happened?
I was at Kingston Technical High School. And after I thought my peers screaming and running up and down, the vehicles were shaking, persons were driving in and just, everybody just stopped shocked and everything. You could see pieces of the building just chipping away at the side and everything was just outrageous, and I mean, really crazy.
Oh my God!
We also got reports of damage to several buildings at the University of the West Indies, including the female block on Taylor Hall. There were broken pipes and cracked walls. Traffic came to a standstill in much of the corporate area in the aftermath as several businesses and schools closed early. But with the panic and the chaos that ensued, Lisa McHale wants better systems in place.
Majority of us don't know what to do. I stood in the doorway for 2 seconds and then fear takes over and you run because the doorway that you're standing in is shaking. People were under their desk, but the desk is shaking. And then there's a big conversion, a whole thing of people outside and we don't know what to do. So we're standing out in the road, but lots of screaming and panicking. And then you're thinking, but the buildings could come down, but the earth could open. What do we do in an earthquake?
Giovanni Dennis, TV.
Now, in the aftermath of the shake, schools also ended early while dozens of people descended on the Kingston Public Hospital in the corporate area, but their problems were mostly emotional. Kelisha Williams also visited a section of downtown Kingston where a part of a two-story building collapsed.
Quick efforts to restore calm in the face of calamity. The earthquake left hundreds of people at the Kingston Public and Victoria Jubilee hospitals shaken, some more visibly so.
I was sitting on the wall, and when I feel the thing, I feel the building go rocking like this and just twisting, and I'm just upon Lord of mercy, Lord of mercy.
This man was waiting to see the doctor inside the main building during the quake. He fought to hold back tears.
I just feel the place starts tremble. I start to call upon Father Jesus.
Dozens of persons have evacuated the building. They are currently doing some checks on the inside, but patients who were on the inside during the earthquake, they are lining up now to see whether or not the structure of the building is okay before they can be allowed to go back and see the doctor. But as we speak now, persons are also coming here. I was told that there are dozens of persons right across the corporate area who have been traumatized by the earthquake, and they are currently flocking the Kingston Public Hospital.
The building shook violently. However, we can't leave the patients, so we have to stay with the patients while we also continue the care.
I look up and I hear kirk like the building, so I try to move away to hold on onto a car there, but it have me like this. My patient was inside the eye clinic. I come out to make a phone call, and I'm trying to rush in to get my patient while persons are trying to exit the building. But my patient get the eye drop in her eye, so she can't move. Her eye is supposed to close for an hour. So she's 80 years old.
We spoke with this woman at the hospital who said she was too overwhelmed to stay at work. She works at a call center which has 3 floors.
A lot of persons had seizure, asthma attack. I also see a lot of people with anxiety. They were shaking even now.
There was also a power outage at the hospital. The CEO told us that 2 generators immediately kicked in to power the building. She said services were also suspended at all the clinics at the facility.
On a Monday, we see on average 2,000 outpatients. We are talking to patients to reassure them. We started seeing some patients, so those that we did not see, we have rescheduled them to Wednesday.
And while the authorities worked to restore normality at the Kingston Public Hospital, residents in this building along Charles Street were struggling to figure out their next move. A section of the 2-story building collapsed, exposing the bedrooms of at least 2 residents. The building, which was seemingly in a poor condition before the earthquake, is home to multiple families.
People don't really have nowhere really for living now. And things hard, rent hard for paying them something there, so you just have to think about somebody else while you think about yourself. Even when you come out, it come like, say, the road that run with you. It was so shocking.
So for the most part, while many people appeared physically okay, it seems the psychological and emotional effects of this earthquake may last for a while. Reporting for TVJ News, I'm Kelisha Williams. My colleague Jamila Maitland went to other sections of the corporate area.